fans, do you want to win your share of $100,000? Simply enter the houseofboxing.com Fight Night Prediction Challenge. Compete with boxing fans around the world. Simply head over to houseofboxing.com and sign up now.
This is Lewis Hart for Boxing Social in association with Empire Fight Store and William Hill. Got a man that is always shadow boxing.
Bobby Rat,
Mr.
Tunde over there. That's my guy. Come all the way, Bobby. He's a serviceman as well. One of the most loyal supporters. Fantastic guy. Come on, Bob. Come on, get in the camera. Come on. This is I'll show you. Come on, guys. Slide through. This man has been such a supporter of mine personally. Met him, great guy, met the family. He would not, there's nowhere myself or Anthony Yarde or Spencer Ferry would be and he wouldn't. And he's such a humble human being and a great man.
Family.
Where are you from, bro?
I'm Wolverhampton.
Yes, sir.
Wolverhampton, yeah.
So don't think that the London brothers, we're not branching out. We got people everywhere, mate. Yes, sir. Thanks, bro. I don't want to embarrass him, but this is the man. Yeah, come on. Let's go, bro. Oh, what's going on outside?
I don't know what's going on, but as I start, Tunde, how are things, mate? How are we?
I feel good, man. I feel good. You know, like, it's very hard to get me down. You know, I always try to look at the positive in everything, knowing that polarity is always there. There's always a good, a bad, and up and a down, a left and a right. And yeah, it's good. I feel good.
100%. We like to focus on the positives, but we do have to start on a bit of a negative tone. We would have liked to have seen you, yourself and Anthony ringside today for Joshua Buatsi versus Dan Azeez. Yes. Unfortunately, Dan Azeez getting a back injury very, very late on into his camp. I mean, just seeing things like that, how gutting is that really when you look at it from your perspective with Anthony?
It judges who won.
So how disappointing is it to hear with in your perspective with Anthony, where he was looking at the winner of that?
Joe Kadua, one of the up and coming rising stars of British boxing. He's got a meme what he always sends me when a bit of bad news happens, and it is for F's sake. That when I heard the news, I'm gonna tell you, Reach from Box Up Crime, Reach, my guy. I actually, because I'm not as hip as the youngsters nowadays, so I said, come, let's go over to Stratford. Buy me a suit and a shoes. I wanna look cool. You understand? And he took me over there, and as God is my witness, bought the suit, bought the shoes, put them on the till, and I got the text. I said, look at this now. I couldn't believe it. I was in dismay, I was in shock, but I feel it for Dan, and I feel it for both fighters, but I feel it for Dan, I think the most, because we're all aware that when things like this happen, the conspiracy theories start flying about, and I think it's I think anyone that thinks Dan would purposely pull out the fight because he doesn't want the fight or anything of that manner, I think they really haven't followed Dan Azeez and what he's about. He's a modern day warrior. He wants to fight, but I'm all for fighters not going into that ring unless they're 100%.
What did you make of the conspiracy that came out about Dan? Obviously, not anyone from a boxer, but a lot of it came from Eddie Hearn, the Matchroom team. Do you feel like that was just just to throw him off a little bit?
No, I think it's just promoters being promoters. Everyone wants to kick everyone in the back when they're down. And that's not to say that, because I heard Frank and I heard Eddie, and it's not to say that they were lying about the ticket sales and stuff. But I just don't think, knowing Dan Azeez personally, that he would be part of a conspiracy to pull the show because of low ticket sales. Whether there were low ticket sales remains, we'll never know now. Those guys in the know. So for Eddie, I'm not calling Eddie a liar, I'm not calling Frank a liar. That probably was the case. Because when the fight first got made and at O2, I was like, how are they going to fill out the O2? I ain't even seen them fill out a bloody sports centre, let alone a 20,000 arena. So there may have been that, but one thing, I'm putting myself in the line, knowing that you can never know someone 100%, that Dan Azeez wouldn't do that. I just believe he wouldn't do that.
And when you look at modern day, and you look at sort of boxing politics in 2023, we have, in this country, we have 3 big promoters, 3 different broadcasters. They're all going at each other, really.
Yes.
When you look at it, what do you make of it, all the promoter politics, everyone like that in this day and age? Because obviously Anthony has been a part of it, being with Queensberry, and there's been other light heavyweights who've been with Matchroom, and obviously now with Boxer as well.
I think it's great.
You think it's great?
I think it's great, man. I love it. It's like, listen, it's like 95% of what you read in the papers is bullshit. So, but you read it because it's entertainment, and promoters going back and forth is good as long as the fighters get paid and the fights get made. I don't mind. It's part of the whole story. Now, look, we're all talking about it, and so it gives the sport the build up, the edge, the anticipation, the excitement that it needs. I think it would be pretty dull if everyone was just promoting fights and not slagging off each other. Even though I'm not myself, Anthony, Joe, we're not built like that. But it's entertainment, and my concern is always that the fighters get treated well, the fighters get paid, and that the fights get made.
What you say there about the politics and everything like that, do you feel like boxing is turning the corner globally, where we see big fights getting made? We see, Anthony came on Sky Sports and he looked down the camera, he said, I want the winner. Yeah. Do you feel like we're turning the corner where, if both fighters want the fight, it's going to happen?
It's up to the fighters. There's guys out here saying like they want to fight, they don't fight. And again, I can only talk for who I'm around, and that's Anthony. And Anthony, again, has proven over and over and over again that he wants to fight. When people talk about, he fights no one and then fights a world, I'm like, hold on. It's obvious you ain't looking at Ant's career, because Ant's stopping guys in 3-4 rounds that are going the distance with Callum Smith. You go look at Sukloka. You go look at, what's the other guy that Ant beat up in 4 rounds? These guys went the distance.
Quite a few, mate.
Yeah, quite a few. They go the distance. What it is that Anthony's level is that elite level. And yes, unfortunately, we've come on short a couple of times. But he'll get there. And I just think that he's a blueprint for fighters. And that's what the promoters want, these fights. They just got to pay the right money.
When you look at Anthony now, obviously Buatsi and Azeez has had a postponement. We don't know. That fight might happen next month or it might happen next year. We don't know. Is that still the focus for Anthony, or do you feel like he's not waiting around for them to? He's going to progress for other opportunities?
I'll be honest with you. It's the fight that has been spoken about for so long, and Ant wants to fight. It's just one of them ones. Like before, it was like, hold on, you're an Olympian. We only had 12 amateur fights. Like that don't make sense to me. And so that's really been the story for the last 5 years. So now we're at a point where Anthony's like, cool. You understand? Let's have a fight, and it will be a good fight. It will be a good fight. I'm looking forward to it if it can be made.
100%. Just the last one for me. We do see Joel here. What's his progression like? How's he been doing?
The hardest worker I've ever worked with, other than Anthony Yarde. And come true, Joe. Come true. I don't know where you come true. Because this is what I do.
I'm bringing everyone in, man.
Because I'm a manager that's managing. I'm not trying to promote other fighters. I'm managing my fighters. I'm speaking about my fighters. Every interview, I'm going to revert it back to my fighters or the guys that I train and manage. And so this young man is the hardest worker I've ever worked with since Anthony Yarde. And again, like Anthony, he only had 12 amateur fights. He can talk for himself. I'm just talking. But yeah, we're looking for him to be out in December.
100%. Boys, thank you for your time. Really appreciate catching up with you, and all the best. Thank you, mate. Cheers.